My name is Lee Young and I'm International Director and Head of the Asian Art Department at Lion & Turnbull. During the exhibition and everywhere we've taken the STEM Cup, I think that the reaction to it, for such a small object, it seems to sort of tower above its actual size, and people's reaction and response to it has always been one of, complete awe and just, enthusiasm. So was I surprised when it hammered down at £3.265 million? No, and I think the reason is it's so unique, and it is a world treasure, and the people in the audience here last night knew that they would not get another chance to own this. This was their one and only chance, because whoever's bought this, they're not going to be, passing it on, maybe down through the family, but so they were going to get one chance. To us, it represents to us in our newest form. It's the most expensive single item that Lion & Turnbull have actually ever sold. It also represented a great opportunity to come here to Hong Kong and actually sell the cup. There's a great deal of press and publicity around generated around the cup, both pre and post the sale. And we've been looking at ways to come into this growing market here in Hong Kong and in Asia, and I think the STEM Cup in a way actually enabled us to do that confidently. This week here in Hong Kong, it is actually Asia Week Hong Kong, and what does that mean? It means it's a celebration of the arts here in Hong Kong. So anybody who's interested in that type of Ming porcelain or whatever it is, Asian art, will be here, and there's a real focus on all things art here during this week. So the idea of bringing the cup to Hong Kong, you've got a sort of critical mass of the world's collectors and everybody here celebrating that, and we just brought the cup to be part of that celebration. And obviously when it hammered down at 3.265 million, it proved that decision was the correct one. We put the Yuan dynasty charger and the Chen Yuan dish surrounding the Zhuanda STEM Cup. I mean, primarily actually because it does represent quite a nice sort of chronological date. You've got the Yuan dish, of course, being 14th century, and then onwards up to the Zhuanda and then Chenghua. But we were confident as well, obviously not necessarily at the same level in terms of hammer price with the STEM Cup, but we were confident that both dishes would sell very well, particularly the first lot, the Yuan dish, which soared on to itself for nearly $1 million. I think that was a nice, and I think I said it during the auction, that actually that represented quite a nice curtain opener for the crowd. It's probably a different type of buyer. That type of buyer would necessarily focus on that unmarked earlier wares. So there wasn't going to be a lot of cross-pollination there, but I thought it would get the room going quite nicely, and I thought as a little trio they complemented each other very, very well. Well, Freemans and Lion & Turnbull have had a strategic partnership for the last 15 years. I mean, we refer to one another as sister companies. And we've done a lot of things in the past together. We produce a twice yearly magazine, International View magazine, advertising things we've got coming up, advertising things we've done. So the STEM Cup will have been in there, and it'll be in there again to talk about the result and everything that we did here in Hong Kong. But we've always looked and hoped that at some time, at a period in time, we were able to do an auction jointly together. And again, Hong Kong, they have a very successful Asian department there, and our Asian department, and we were able to bring the two together very, very successfully here in Hong Kong at the Liang Yi Museum and have our first sale. This has been a journey for both Lion & Turnbull and Staffordshire University with one goal, and that is to sell the STEM Cup for the best price, so that the money can be used to fund the facility to house the rest of the collection, which, as we all know, has been under lock and key for the last 30 years, I think now, and of course it was on a secure exhibit at the university in the late 1980s and the early 1990s, but since then it has been boxed up and back under lock and key. So It's very, very significant. It's significant for the university in that, you know, they can now really fulfill, you know, Ernest Thornhill's wishes and create this learning centre with his marvellous collection. You know, you couldn't have, in terms of, and look, he was very clever with his selection, you know, putting it as, you know, within the potteries area. I mean, surrounded by, of course, Staffordshire University, Stoke-on-Trent, surrounded by a number of great British potteries. And I think, you know, it is significant for them also in that I think, you know, this will, certainly we've seen that, I'm going to use the word, the Thornhill Cup we've seen here as almost have a celebrity type status. And I think that, you know, that's going to benefit the university, and that when they build the facility and they open the doors for the very first time to the public, I think that they're going to find, you know, crowds are going to be, you know, coming along to that area, and it will really boost, you know, the area as a whole. And of course, having the other potteries on the doorstep, it's great for them, it's great for the university, and you know, a fantastic result all around. But I have to say, you know, for us as specialists, but I'm fortunate in that not only am I an Asian specialist, I'm able to be the auctioneer as well. And it's really, you know, that's the exciting moment for us. You know, we've built, everything is built up to that, you know, one moment when you get to lot 84 and you've got the stem cup, you've got a full room in front of you, you know, you've got those registered bidders, the hands go up, and you know, when you start bidding, you're not sure where it's going to go. And with something like the stem cup, when you're dealing in significant amounts of money, you know, there's a little more theatre attached. You know, it's as you saw last night, the bidding's quite slow paced. People have to have thinking time, but you know, and you know, the excitement, I think, for me, and dropping that hammer and achieving a great price, you know, that's kind of why we do what we do. You know, you know, it's you know, if I were a sportsman, it's like winning the race, I guess. I can't think of another moment, you know, in terms of anticipation of a sale, the excitement for me of getting up there. Personally, I've never sold a lot quite as high as that. There have been other interesting and significant lots historically that I sold in the past, but I just don't think anything will ever probably compare to how I felt that moment, dropping that hammer, opening that lot and selling that stem cup.